Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. For those that may not know me, my name is John Tramontozzi, and it has been a pleasure and an honor to serve this great city, the city of Melrose, as a city councilor, and before that in the Board of Aldermen for 16 years. But tonight, this evening, it's a very special event, and we want to welcome one and all to the 2022 inaugural ceremonies for the city of Melrose. Before we begin, please join me in welcoming former Melrose Mayor Gail Inferna. Welcome, Gail. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Before the procession begins, I would like to thank Tim Coe, tonight's audio engineer. Thank you, Tim. And Tim will now play our processional music to kick off tonight's event. And if we will all begin, we will please rise as our inaugural procession begins. Thank you. And with that, please welcome Massachusetts State Senator Jason Lewis, Massachusetts State Representative Kate Lippert-Garabedian, and Middlesex County District Attorney Marion Ryan. Thank you. And now please welcome Melrose School Committee Chair Jen McAndrew and the Melrose School Committee, escorted by Superintendent of Melrose Schools, Julie Kuchenberger. Thank you. Welcome. And now please welcome City Council President Christopher Cinella and the Melrose City Council, escorted by Melrose City Clerk Kristen Foote. would now please direct your attention and welcome the Honorable Mayor Paul Brodeur. Family. If we all could please remain standing, and so now can we please welcome Melrose High School senior and aspiring Eagle Scout, Kate Sikkema, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Kate?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Kate. And please stay standing. And thank you, Kate. And at this time, please welcome Melrose High School student Sam Chetkin, and Sam will now sing the national anthem. Sam, it's all yours.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, thank you, Sam. And what is beauty? What else can you say? It was beautiful. And what talent we have in our schools. And thank you all. And I think at this time, Mayor Brodeur will administer the oath of office to the Melrose City Council. I think everybody you can all stand, be seated. Be seated now. And
We got 11. We got 11.
all right.
Outstanding. All right, everybody, you ready? No going back after this. I ask you to raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. do solemnly swear that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and will support the Constitution thereof. So help me God. I, state your name again. Do solemnly swear that I will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as a city councilor for the city of Melrose, according to the best of my ability and understanding. Agreeably to the rules and regulations of the Constitution and laws of the Commonwealth. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America. So help me God. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, the Melrose City Council.
Well, congratulations to all the members of the Melrose City Council. And at this time, you're going to administer the oath to the returning members of the Melrose School Committee. There's 2 returning members and 1 new member.
Yes, sir.
All right. Please stand.
Madam Chair, if you could, I'm trying this one with my glasses. Should go with it. Raise your right hand, please, and repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Jennifer Rosie Thomas,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts
and will support the Constitution thereof.
and will support the Constitution thereof.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I
I, Jennifer Rosie Thomas,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as a member of the school committee for the city of Melrose,
as a member of the school committee for the city of Melrose,
according to the best of my abilities and understanding.
according to the best of my abilities and understanding,
Agreeably to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws of the Commonwealth,
of the Constitution and the laws of the Commonwealth,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Almost there. I
I, Jennifer Rosie Thomas,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations and welcome aboard.
Great, congratulations. This time I want to please welcome Jen McAndrew, the 2022 Chair of the Melrose School Committee, to the podium.
Yeah, sure, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Tramontozzi, for emceeing tonight and for your many years of service to our beloved Ward 1. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be with you all here in this room and watching at home. I hope you and everyone you love are doing okay. Each person in this community is carrying the weight of the pandemic in some way, and I'm thinking of you. Let me start by raising up and thanking 2 groups in particular: educators and school staff and healthcare workers, including our own health department and school nurses. Thank you as well to Mayor Brodeur, to Lily Wall, Margot Fleischman, City Clerk Foote and her whole team, Kathy Pickett Brodeur, our friends at DPW and MMTV, Chief Lyle, Chief Kalina, and all of our first responders, and everyone who arranged tonight's event during such challenging times. A special welcome as well to Mayor Inferna, Representative Lipper-Garabedian, Senator Lewis, and DA Ryan. Congratulations to all the city councilors, President Cinella, and my colleagues being sworn in, Jennifer Razzie-Thomas and Dory Withy. And thank you to our returning school committee members, Lizbeth DeSelm, Margaret Driscoll, Ed O'Connell, and our superintendent of schools, Dr. Julie Kuchenberger. Thank you especially for the patience and love of all of our awesome families, especially mine. To those on this stage, let me say that there are many ways to serve your community, as we see every day in this great city. But I thank you all for choosing to serve in this way at this time. Events like this one are often occasions for soaring rhetoric, bold pronouncements, and the like. But as I thought about what I might say tonight, I kept returning to one question. What can we say at this moment about our schools and our kids and what they need? I think the honest answer, or at least part of it, is pretty unsatisfying. We just don't know, or perhaps we only know part of it. While the pandemic's effects are widespread and not fully known, it is fair to say that the impact on children has been particularly severe, especially those who are already marginalized. Among other disruptions to their young lives, the pandemic has upended American public education, a system that was already coming apart. The COVID hammer came down on public schools that for decades and decades were buckling under untenable pressure, overburdened, under-resourced, and plagued by inequality. And yet, these kids, we hear that kids are resilient, and that certainly can be true. Often they're downright amazing. We saw a couple of them tonight already. Here they go, off to pre-K, or off to high school, or off to the controlled chaos that is middle school. May God particularly bless the middle school teachers. Here they are with their little masks and their colorful vaccine Band-Aids, taking the common sense precautions that too many adults reject. Here they are doing their homework in a pandemic, texting their friends who are sick or quarantining, helping to care for their siblings, making music and art, competing with their teams, working, organizing for change. And yes, reminding their weary parents that toddler volume and teenage snark persist even in a global emergency. Even as we acknowledge all that courage and all that growth, we should have no illusions about what they face, nor about the very hard work ahead. I promise you that our educators, nurses, principals, and district leaders see the shape of what's to come, indeed what's already here. Growing academic gaps, social-emotional needs, mental health challenges, lingering illness, family strain, and financial hardships. And if the past is prologue, public schools will be expected to pick up all the pandemic's sharp pieces. American society has not yet met a problem it didn't expect public schools to solve. So while we don't really know all that's in store for us is not really a satisfying answer, for now it has to be sufficient. Sitting with this uncertainty is its own kind of test. We need to brace ourselves for the road ahead and embrace it as an opportunity. We know that we are looking at years of recovery, and we need to ask ourselves at every turn, recovery back to what? I realize that we are now all searching for hope, maybe particularly in this speech. So if there is an opportunity here, it is for each of us to embrace our own role in supporting every child in this community, as Melrose has done, can do, and will do. From what I have seen, the Melrose Public Schools are eager to do their part, but it's foolish to assume they will do it alone and in the same ways they managed to do so before. This community should be ready to help, to make the hard decisions and investments that prioritize our kids, not to demand easy answers or expect quick fixes, to be further inconvenienced, to be patient, flexible, and full of grace. With the people leading our district, teaching, coaching, and caring for our kids, serving in our city government, with everyone's strong support, and with our kids, here's a promise I can make. If there is a way to move from surviving to thriving, we will find it together. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Well said. Please now, at this time, could we welcome Christopher Cinella, the 2022 President of the Melrose City Council. Chris?
He's a little taller than me. I'll bring this down. Thank you, Councilor Tramontozzi, and good evening. Welcome, Senator Lewis, Representative Lipper Garabedian, District Attorney Ryan, Mayor Inferna, Mayor Brodeur, my fellow councilors, school committee members, guests, and the people of Melrose. It's truly an honor and a privilege to take the oath of office for my second term as City Councilor at large and for my second year as Council President. I am grateful and humbled by the support and trust both the citizens of Melrose and my colleagues on the council have placed in me. I pledge to work to keep that support and trust by continuing to be accessible, collaborate, to be fair, to ensure accountability, and to do what is best for the city of Melrose, a place we all love to call home. I'm very proud to serve on this council in my hometown, to serve on the same body my father and uncle once did. And like many people now who have seen what a great community Melrose is and have decided to put roots down here, my father grew up in about the furthest town away from here while staying in Massachusetts, the town of Lee. He got involved with so many different efforts in Melrose, and the community embraced him. I saw that, I lived that, and I don't forget that. Melrose is Melrose because of who we are, not where we're from. We support each other, we give, we welcome, we come together, we are enthusiastic about our future, and we are proud of our history. And I am proud to be making history today, to be serving on the most diverse city council in the city's history. Thank you. Representing everyone from people who have just come to this country to fifth-generation Melrosians, renters, homeowners, and local business owners. As a council, we have come together to serve the people of Melrose we represent, and we will continue to do so. Just 2 years ago, when I was starting my first term, face masks were something we thought of for football players and hockey players. And when the pandemic first started, many of us thought that we'd just close down for a couple of weeks and then move along. No one could have ever predicted that after about 2 years, we're still fighting through this pandemic. But no doubt it's been a collective effort on everyone's part. Distancing, quarantines, masks, shots, supporting the businesses and the workers most directly affected. Through the work of many, I believe the city of Melrose has risen to the occasion, has found ways to make things work, oftentimes through ingenuity and dedication. As times get tough, the demands on the government increases, and Melrose did not miss a beat. Police officers, firefighters, public works, teachers, the Board of Health, City Hall staff, and I'm sure I'm inadvertently leaving some groups out, they all continue to do their important work to keep the city moving forward, to keep us safe. Public safety was maintained, emergencies answered, students educated, vaccines administered, payments collected, payroll processed, pension checks issued. All of this was done without a roadmap for this kind of thing, without knowing as much about COVID as we do now, while trying to figure out how to keep these public servants and their families safe. Thank you to all of our public servants for everything that you have done and everything you continue to do. You are valued and you are appreciated. I'm also proud that we were able to maintain the city's fiscal stability through this time of major uncertainty through careful planning and budgeting. And at the same time, we've leveraged state funds to make a major capital commitment for the future with the new library project, which will benefit Melrosians of all ages and all walks of life for generations. We know together as a council that we need to address other capital needs, including public safety in our schools. I'm almost done. Before I finish, I would just like to make a couple personal acknowledgments to our city clerk, Kristen Foote, and her staff, and clerk of committees, Andrew Gabriel. Thank you for all the work that you do behind the scenes. You are like the offensive lineman in football. You're doing an excellent job and nobody notices you, and I want to take this opportunity to notice you and say thank you. Please stand up. Andrew's in the back, and Kristen's hiding somewhere. Thank you. Oh, sorry. And finally, my biggest thank you to my biggest supporters, my family, my wife Maggie, my children CJ and Jake. I had to give Jake the shout out, my mother, and thank you all. I couldn't do without you, and thank you to all of you. I'm excited to get to work, and we're all looking forward to better days. And as good as Melrose is now, I know our best days are ahead of us. So, thank you.
Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you for your leadership on the council, and maybe I'll miss it. Some days I'll miss it. Maybe some days you'll miss me. But now, please join me in giving me a warm welcome to the Honorable Mayor Paul Brodeur.
Bringing it back down to Cinella level. Alderman Tramontozzi, Councilor Tramontozzi, Attorney Tramontozzi, singer, dad, band supporter, thank you for your long service to the community, and I think the best is yet to come.
Well, thank you.
So, good evening. Good evening, colleagues, distinguished guests, everyone who has joined us virtually, in particular, Mayor Inferna, State Representative Lipper Garabedian, Senator Lewis, and District Attorney Ryan. I want to say thank you for the partnership and the support as we continue really to weather this storm. The partnership is invaluable. Thank you very much. And of course, given the nature of the gathering and mindful of public health concerns, I will endeavor, I will not promise, but I will endeavor to be brief. I would like to extend a particular welcome to our new school committee member and our new city councilors and their families. Our new councilors, Ryan Williams, Manjula Karamchetti, and John Obremski, bring a diversity of professional skill and personal commitment to their service to our community that will benefit us all. And our new colleague on the school committee, Dory Withy, I particularly want to welcome. I welcome you as a parent in the Melrose Public Schools and as a literacy expert with a master's degree from the Harvard School of Education. I like to bring that up because of my own connection to Harvard University. I applied there to be an undergrad. That's the whole story. Those are remarkable qualifications for your new role, and I know you will mesh well with the talent and abilities of our other school committee members. And Superintendent Kuchenberger, I don't know what to say. It's been, I wish the glide path was a little bit easier, but I thank you for your friendship and your leadership as we try to tackle the unique problems of this age. And to the loved ones of our electeds and other workers here at Memorial Hall or at home, thank you. Thank you for sharing these amazing people with us. My wife, Liz, and my sons, Ethan and Sam, are in the audience. They've been around the block with this for quite some time. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I will give you all some advice that they have been very good with to me, and that is give your loved ones a little bit of time, a little bit of consideration. Be gentle with them in the weeks and months ahead, because these jobs are hard. And it is hard to plan a ceremonial occasion during the uncertainty of a pandemic. and I am deeply appreciative of all the efforts that brought us here this evening. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the staff at Memorial Hall that did a tremendous job setting up tonight's event, the health department for all their service, and the volunteers that support them throughout the pandemic, but who also provided their expertise in ensuring a safe event for us this evening. And I want to personally thank our Melrose High School students, Kate Sikkema, again, are this close to being first female Eagle Scout in the history of the city, and to Sam Chetkin for sharing over the course really of many years at this point, his talents and ability with the community and with us tonight. And certainly to our friends at MMTV who are live streaming this ceremony, and our friends at MHS TV, both who support this community every day, making content and access available when we otherwise wouldn't be able to provide it over the course of the pandemic. As has been evident tonight and throughout the last couple of years, working to help our community adapt to the COVID-19 pandemic has been at the heart of everything we've done. From running vaccine clinics, to planning how to bring kids back to in-person learning, to unprecedented economic uncertainty and supporting our local businesses through that, for supporting our seniors as isolation and food insecurity have become challenges during the pandemic. This is the work we have just committed or recommitted ourselves to do as they have taken their oaths this evening. And my colleagues, as we have learned from the challenges of the past year and the year before that, the only way we can move forward is through collaboration and cooperation. I am sure that there will be times when our opinions on how to handle a particular issue or situation will differ, but what we share, and we share this with our community, is our commitment to the education, health, and well-being of our residents of all ages, with a passion to strengthen, sustain, and improve our community. Now, these are certainly difficult times, but we are not the first generation of Melrosians to face these challenges with purpose and determination. And I am proud to lead alongside this City Council, this school committee, Dr. Kuchenberger, our public health officials, and everyone in our engaged community that serves in any capacity to move our community forward. And I do want to note that we have done some great things. This past year, we came together. I am gratified that so many Melrosians answered the call to mask up, to get vaccinated and boosted, because you are standing together to ensure community safety and health, despite the fatigue of a long and lingering public health crisis and the impact of the pandemic on everyone's lives. But even still, this past year, we saw some great things. We saw a community event, Porch Fest, throughout the city, people being outside and having a great time. We saw a return to home for the holidays. We kind of got back to basics and to what makes the community special. We managed to have a Victorian fair, and we celebrated during a time when maybe we were a little bit more optimistic about the short-term prognosis of the pandemic with our summer open house for the summer stroll. And we have seen artists and students. We've seen achievement in the classroom. We've seen achievement outside the classroom. We've seen our athletes, and we've seen our poets and our theater actors and all of those folks, young and old, but especially our students, as Chair McAndrew said, showing us the way and inspiring us with their perseverance and their skill and their talent. Above all, I want to acknowledge the kindness, respect, and consideration that Melrosians have for each other. As we continue to face the challenges before us and move our city forward through the pandemic and beyond, I embrace the values that all of us, young and old, newcomers and lifelong residents, can be proud of. This time in our history is not an easy one, and I ask for your help, cooperation, and understanding as city and school staff continue to innovate, continue to carry on their responsibilities while dealing with the challenges posed by the rising number of COVID-19 cases. And I ask you all to consider, during your public discourse, civility, respect, grace. We may differ on many things. We may be worried, we may be concerned, but what we all have, what we share, is a commitment to do a little bit better than we did the day before. All the people on this stage believe that. All the people that work for the city and for the schools believe that. The parents and the volunteers and the young and the old all believe that. Please make that a central part of your thinking as you consider how to participate in our civic discourse. As we move together into this new year, I offer each of you my commitment to putting ideas into action, and in particular, tonight, I am announcing that 2022 will officially be designated the Year of Community Health and Wellness in Melrose. And in the days ahead, I will be consulting with experts and many invaluable community partners on developing plans to coordinate programs, resources, and initiatives to support the mental and physical health of residents of all ages. We've already seen leadership in that front from the Melrose Education Foundation with their parent university. We can do more. And our efforts will have a particular focus on the well-being of our youth and include our ongoing commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Many of the needs that I'm talking about existed before the pandemic, but the coronavirus has brought home the need to strengthen existing programs and services as well as provide new ones. It is how we will care for each other. And I realize that there is no silver bullet, and I think we all know that, to combat the effects of the pandemic or the generational inequities that have been exacerbated by this public health crisis. But tonight, I offer you a pledge that together, with all my colleagues on the stage and our many residents in the community, that I will rededicate myself and this administration and this city to doing all that we can do to combat the social, emotional, and economic impact the pandemic has had on our community. I look forward to sharing in greater detail our agenda for meeting this important challenges and meeting the other challenges of the future in a State of the City address later this winter. To my colleagues and to the residents of Melrose, I am deeply humbled, proud, and above all grateful for the opportunity to do this important work with you. I would like to take this moment to express that, as always, my doors are always open to all, and that I welcome you to present ideas, express concerns, or just talk with me about what's going on in our beloved city. And I want to take a moment to thank my dad. He's not here with me tonight. But Dad, we made it. We made it through today. And I will see you tomorrow, the good Lord willing. Thank you all very much, and thank you for giving me the privilege of leading this great city.
Thank you, Mayor Brodeur. Your leadership is a welcome needed for this great community, and we look forward to your guidance as we face these challenges ahead in the future. But thank you so much. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming.